All right, welcome everybody to the Borough Council regular meeting for December 17th, 2025. This will be our last meeting of the year. We'll start with our roll call.
President Ferguson,
Here.
Vice President Gerard,
Here.
Councilmember Fagan,
Here.
Councilmember Byrne,
Here.
Councilmember White, Mayor Gerard,
Here.
Junior Councilperson Shiana DiPola,
Here.
Borough Manager Snyder, Borough Solicitor Harper.
Here.
Invite everyone to stand and do our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Vice President Gerard, if you'll do our invocation.
Let us take a moment to pause and reflect as we begin this meeting. May we approach our work with open minds, clear purpose, and a shared commitment to the common good. And may we respect and guide our conversations, wisdom inform our decisions, and unity strengthen our community. We are grateful for the opportunity to serve, and we strive to do so with both integrity and fairness for all. Amen.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you. All right, we will get into our agenda for today with item 1, approval of the meeting agenda. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda for today, December 17th, 2025's regular meeting?
Second.
All right, I got a motion from Councilman Burns, a second from Councilman Gerard. Any questions, changes? I would like to add a item under 10.5 just to have a quick year in reflection. Any other changes or amendments? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Item 2, approval of the meeting minutes. Can I get a motion to approve the meeting minutes from the November 5th, 2025 workshop and the November 19th, 2025 regular meetings?
Motion. Second.
I have a motion from Councilman Burns, a second from Councilman Fagan. Any questions, changes, or amendments? If none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Motion passes. Item 3, public input. If there's anyone here from the public who would like to make a statement, we ask you to please rise, approach the podium, make sure the green button is on, state your name and address and the reason for addressing council. All right, the 2 members of our community who are present tonight do not wish to speak, so we'll go on to item 4. Item 4, which is our public hearing for ordinance number 560, amending Chapter 10 Code of Ordinances, Weeds and Other Vegetations to regulate bamboo, and I'll turn it over to our solicitor.
Sorry about that. Can you hear me all right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. We do have a public hearing tonight on this ordinance, which we've been working on for months. The committee's worked on it for months.
Yeah.
This basically says you can't plant and grow bamboo. And you can't let your bamboo grow onto some neighbor's property. But you don't have to go out there and take out any bamboo you currently have. We changed that because we were trying to make it easy for people to, come into compliance and deal with it, not plant anymore. And we also discovered that we don't have that much bamboo growing in the borough. Okay, so Mark, a couple of exhibits to start. Borough 1 is an affidavit of publication. We did run ads in the newspaper announcing tonight is the hearing for this ordinance, and we ran the whole ordinance in it, okay? And then I think as Borough 2, we should name the actual ordinance itself that you're going to be voting on tonight, okay? There's a little change if you've been looking at this for a while. In that when we first worked on the draft, we inserted into the chapter dealing with weeds. But this ordinance deals only with bamboo. It'll get added to the chapter dealing with weeds later, but if it looks different to you, that's another reason why. Because we didn't want to have to pay to publish the whole chapter. Okay. And so that's the way it is. So why don't we mark as Borough Exhibit 2 the actual ordinance. And those are all the exhibits that I have. And what we have to do to have a public hearing is Borough Council needs to discuss it and ask any questions you have. And then we have to take public comment. So I'll turn it back to you, Mr. President, to take care of those things.
All right. Are there any additional questions from council or anyone in attendance?
Didn't a gentleman come to our meeting to say that he had a bamboo problem with the neighbor?
Yes, it was
Wasn't that
Mr.
something-
Campbell, the owner of the main hotel.
Okay, okay. And is he aware of that this is now?
I will, once it's passed and it passes its 30-day like appeal period, I just thought it was a courtesy to just send him a copy of it or let him know. He does come in and pay his electric bill, so whatever happens first. But I think he would be appreciative that
I think he
knew
would.
that it was passed.
Right, great.
Right, and actually, that was why we changed some of the ordinance. The committee worked on changes to make sure it dealt with that problem. Okay. Each property owner shall be required to take such measures as are reasonably expected to prevent any bamboo on its property from encroaching onto its name. Okay.
One other question, and I don't remember seeing it in here previously. Is there a time limitation in terms of when the violation order is first issued? How much time there's given to the person to remove any bamboo that is in violation of this ordinance? Like
There's
30
nothing
days, 60 days?
specific in here, but in general, municipal ordinances, you get a notice that you have 30 days to get rid of it, which is reasonable for bamboo. It's hard to get rid of,
Right.
or to stop it from growing outside your property.
Okay.
So I would say that our code officer would deal with it by giving them a notice of 30 days.
All right, thank you.
Councilman Fagan, anything? Anyone from the public? All right, if there are no more questions, I will close the questioning session for that. Thank you, Madam Solicitor. All right,
It's
well,
on for action later tonight.
it is on for action, item A, under item 9, action item 9, so. All right, we'll go to item 5, again, back to our solicitor, the conditional use hearing for Erazo's 5S Maple Avenue for the oversized garage.
Right, this is a similar thing. Conditional use is similar to a zoning issue, but it's heard by the governing body, which is you guys, as opposed to your zoning hearing board. And the gentleman has asked for a postponement of the hearing because he did not submit a plan with dimensions on it. And one of the things you have to consider is the size of the proposed garage, which is bigger than allowed by right. So what we have to do tonight is open the hearing, because we have to open a hearing within 60 days under the Pennsylvania Municipal Code. And then we can continue it to a date certain so that we don't have to so that we don't have to advertise it again. Okay, so as Borough 1, once again, I have the proof of publication of tonight's hearing. Okay, so we'll put that into evidence as Borough 1. I do have copies of his application and everything, but I think what we're gonna do is wait until he gets here so he can participate.
Mhm.
And then we do have an email request. Here it is. And we have an email request that went to Jamie and should be in your packets. From Carlos Erazo to Quianas, and I probably messed up his name. Okay. Asking for a postponement to January 21st in order to give you guys enough time to review the survey. That's what it says. So why don't we mark that as Borough 2, okay? So we have proof of that. My suggestion would be that you agree that we will continue this to a date certain, which is the one he asked for, January 21st. We have a meeting that night, right?
Yeah, it's the regular meeting
Okay.
in January.
That if you would do that by motion second and do it right now to continue it to January 21st. 2026. At the regular meeting, then we won't have to re-advertise it and people, and we can let him know that the request for the continuance was granted.
All right. So can I get a motion to postpone the conditional use hearing for Arazo to January 21st, 2026?
Make a motion to continue the hearing. Second.
All right, I got a motion from Councilman Burns, a second from Councilman Gerard. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Right. So we will postpone that.
Meeting minutes should reflect that we opened the hearing and that we marked a few exhibits and then we continue to a date certain. Okay, thanks.
All right. Thank you, Madam Solicitor. All right, we will go on to item 6, announcements.
Next council meeting is January 5th, reorganization workshop meeting at 6:00 PM and the January 21st regular meeting at 7 PM here in council chambers. Planning Commission is scheduled to meet on Monday, January 26th at 6 PM in council chambers. Hatfield Museum Historical Society is scheduled to meet on Tuesday, January 27th at 7 PM in council chambers. The borough offices will be closed on Wednesday, December 24th, Thursday, December 25th, and Friday, December 26th in observance of the Christmas holidays. And the borough offices will be closed on Wednesday, December 31st, 2025, and Thursday, January 1st, 2026 in observance of the New Year's Eve and New Year's Day holidays.
All right, any questions? All right, having none, we'll go on to item 7, new business and discussion items. We'll start with item A, December 2025 reports.
The reports included in your packet were not included in the workshop packet in December, just for how the month fell. So first is the cash accounts report. Diane included that through October 31st. And then the second one is the monthly year-to-date report. If you look at that, we have revenues received roughly 84%, expenses used roughly 68%. Always good, revenues higher than expenses. Just want to highlight, September, we know, we talked about, we got some grant funding back. The same happened for October. We also received pension funds. Our metered sales were over $400,000, sewer over 44, and the grant reimbursement was over 500. So that's why the revenues are 1.2 for October.
Any questions? If not, we'll go to item B, 43 Roosevelt Avenue side work escrow release number 1.
Police department.
Oh.
Police and EMS are.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm looking at the sheet. Sorry, how about police and EMS?
Just all 3 of our cadets in the academy have successfully graduated and become certified police officers. This was their first week starting with training activities. They'll be by the borough offices at some point in the new year to introduce themselves. So something new to look forward to.
Any questions?
And the EMS report for November is included in your packets, 12 municipal responses out of 1,081 total region calls. Highest percentage of calls for the borough was 6% at 40%.
All right. Any questions? All right. Item B, 43 Roosevelt.
43 Roosevelt Avenue is requesting a site work escrow release. You may be familiar with the property, came back through a long time ago, maybe 2021-ish, and then kind of worked through the process. They're actually working through the construction right now of 2 sets of twins on Roosevelt Avenue. If you've gone out there, they're fairly far along in the construction process, so they're looking for a site work escrow release in the amount of $100,600.68. And that is being proposed by our borough engineer, and it's on for consideration as an action item this evening. After that escrow release of the $100,600.68, the remaining escrow will be $82,550.52.
And what's that being held for? The remaining balance?
What?
What, the remaining balance, what's
Yes, it
that?
will be for like site work, all that. They
Okay.
have a separate escrow for electric, so that will come through.
All right, any questions? Any additional questions? All right.
Yeah, you can.
Okay.
You just do it as an action item.
All right, so we will go on to item 8, old business. Item A, resolution 2025-20, no change to real estate tax rates for 2026.
So this resolution outlines the tax base for the 2026 budget. It stays at 4 mils for Hatfield Borough, 0.25 mils for fire engines, fire apparatus, fire hose, and the firehouse, for a total of 4.25 mils for Hatfield Borough. That is no tax increase for the 2026 year. And it's on for consideration as an action item this evening.
Any questions? All right, if having none, we'll go to item B, resolution 2025-21, residential and GPL 1 flat rate fee.
As part of the 2026 proposed budget, Borough Council, with the recommendation of Budget, Finance, and Labor, is enacting an $18 customer charge for residential customers and GLP-1 customers, which is a form of commercial customers. It is currently $15, so it will be a $3 increase for both of those customers, which would generate $53,000 for the borough. And that's on for consideration as an action item this evening.
Any questions? All right, we'll go to item C, resolution 2025-22, the sanitary sewer quarterly EDU flat rate increase.
As part of the 2026 proposed budget, Budget, Finance, and Labor, along with Borough Council, are recommending an increase from $50 to $55 for your EDU charge, which is your quarterly flat rate charge. Residential customers mostly have one EDU, so that would be an increase of $20 a year for the average residential customer, but it would generate roughly $36,000 for Hatfield Borough, and that's on for consideration as an action item this evening.
All right, any questions? All right, the big one, item D, resolution 2025-23, appropriating specific funds for 2026.
This resolution authorizes the adoption of the 2026 budget for Hatfield Borough. As we've highlighted, there is no tax increase proposed this year. There are small increases for customer service charges, but there are no increases to electric rates or your sewer rates outside of the customer service charges. Also included in your packet was that the borough did advertise the availability of the budget to come in and look at it. We did have one resident do that. Outside of that, I have no comments or heard no comments from residents, business owners about your proposed budget. And would like to add, because it's recorded, if anybody has any questions about the budget, we did a really great presentation on the mid-November to go back and look at it, and then follow up with the meetings. So that gives a more detailed overlook of every line item we've kind of discussed.
Any questions? Anyone from the public want to make or ask any additional questions on the budget? All right, having none, we'll go to item E, the expiring terms for Planning Commission, Zoning Hearing Board, HIROC, and Pool Advisory.
The expiring terms for those boards and committees are listed in your packets. I did speak to every person on this list and they are all interested in continuing to serve Hatfield Borough. As spoke about at the last council meeting, we did post on our website and in the vestibule downstairs that if you are interested in serving, we are taking applications. Please send a letter of interest with your qualifications to admin@hatfieldborough.com by December 23rd. So just letting you know, we are advertising for people that are interested, but every person that currently has served the borough is interested in continuing to serve the borough.
So no new person has stepped forward saying they want to,
No, not at this time. I haven't
Okay.
not received anything yet.
okay, they still have some time.
Yes, yeah.
We vote on those next month.
You vote on them at the reorg meeting,
Reorg, okay.
so I would assume if there was no new interest, they would be reappointed. If there was a spot where there was interest, you just wouldn't appoint that position at the reorg meeting. You would probably talk about it at the reorg meeting and maybe make that appointment at the January 21st meeting. Where maybe both applicants or the multiple applicants come to the meeting and can answer questions, and then you would make that decision.
All right, any questions? What was that, Madam Solicitor?
Did you announce that? I was just saying, I noticed that the notice says they're due by December 23rd in case anybody's listening or watching.
Yeah, she did. Jamie did say the 23rd.
Yeah.
So, yep.
They had issues.
All right, any additional questions? All right, having none, we'll go on to our action items for the evening. We'll start with item A, motion to consider ordinance number 560, amending chapter 10, Code of Ordinances, weed and other vegetation to regulate bamboo.
So moved. Second.
I can motion from Councilman Fagan, a second from Councilman Burns. Any final questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Motion passes. Item B, motion to consider resolution 2025-20, authorizing no change to the real estate tax rate for 2026.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion from Councilman Gerard, a second from Councilman Burns. Any final questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Motion passes. Item C, motion to consider resolution number 2025-21, authorizing the residential and GPL1 flat rate fee.
So moved. Second.
I have a motion from Councilman Gerard, a second from Councilman Fagan. Any final questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Motion passes. Item D, motion to consider resolution 2025-22, authorizing the sewer sanitary quarterly EDU flat rate increase.
Motion. Second.
I have a motion from Councilman Burns, a second from Councilman Fagan. Any final questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Motion passes. Item E, motion to consider resolution 2025-23, appropriating specific funds for 2026.
So moved. Second.
I got a motion from Councilman Fagan, a second from Councilman Burns. Any final questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. We have a budget for 2026, folks. All right, we'll go to item F, motion to consider sidewalk escrow release number 1 for 43 Roosevelt Avenue APB Investments, Inc. in the amount of $100,060.68. I'm sorry, what did I say?
160.
$100,600.68.
Motion.
Second.
I have a motion from Councilman Burns, a second from Councilman Gerard. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Motion passes. Now, as part of the evening, we did want to recognize a councilman who is stepping down. So Jimmy, if you will walk over here, we have a little presentation for you or a little gift for you.
Shit.
Right.
All right. So we ultimately have a resolution honoring your years of service. I won't read it and bore everybody, but I do want to say thank you for your 4 years of service on council. We will miss you next year. We have valued your opinion on things. You've brought an insight which is unique, and we definitely valued and appreciate. And we will miss you for next year. But we definitely appreciate the service that you've given us, and you are still a member of this community. So don't hesitate to keep involved and come visit us. So
Sure.
Madam Mayor.
And I want to thank you so much. It's been fun. And whatever your future endeavors are, know that we're all behind you, support you, and thank you for your service.
All right.
And
Thank you.
says James. Legal description, James Fagan Jr. Thank you for your years of service to Hatfield Borough community, 2022 to 2025.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And we will sign this afterwards with.
Thank you, everybody.
You got pictures or?
You want to say something? So it's kind of.
Congrats.
All right. Thanks.
Thanks, well. It's been a pleasure to be with all of you.
This is the fun part of the job.
I've learned a lot. It really has been a pleasure and a great experience. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you very much. Yep. Oh, I hear you. You know where to find you. Yeah.
Hey, Councilman Schultz. Glad you can make it. So that's okay. We're wrapping it up. We're getting close to the end here. So, all right. So continuing on with our action items, we have action item G, motion to consider resolution number 2025-14, or excuse me, 24, recognizing James Fagan Jr.'s years of service to the borough.
Motion.
Second.
I got a motion from Councilman Burns, a second from Councilwoman Weiss. Any questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Motion passes. When we will sign that before you leave. Item 10, payment of the bills. Does anyone have any questions on the bills?
I have a question about the established traffic control. It says yellow warning lights and street signs. What?
Sorry. That's just who we purchase all our street signs from, and like any flashing lights that we would have, like if we, like, so that's just our distributor. So a lot of times at the end of the year, in that line item, if he has money allocated and he didn't spend it throughout the year, he'll buy the signs for, it's basically for next year. Yeah,
Inventory.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any additional questions? All right, having none, can I get a motion to approve payment of the bills?
Motion.
Second.
Motion from Councilman Burns, second from Councilman Gerard. Any final questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? There are none. Motion passes. All right, we will not have an executive session tonight. We don't have anything we need to cover in executive session, but I wanted to just mention a few things as a year in reflection for this year. You know, as we close out the year, we've had a very interesting year. We've had some unique challenges with the electric costs and trying to manage that. But I think overall we've had a fantastic year. We did have one of the largest publicly funded projects in the sanitary sewer project than we've had. We've also started development of the Hatfield Walk community, which will finish next year. So that's again expanding our community, adding more residents, which is great. We've done a lot of work to improve the reliability of our electrical grid and that system. So again, and we've had some pretty severe storms this past year without having outages. So I think that's a great feat, and thank Steve and his team for all the work that they've done there. Our behind the meter generation is finally starting to see some benefits and some cost reduction. It didn't impact our numbers yet because we're still paying it off, but we're starting to see that having an impact. We actually got water back to the pond at Heritage Park. If you guys remember last year, we lost water in that for some reason. This year the water came back, so I think that's a good thing as well. We did have some legislation for some ordinances that improved the life of our residents, you know, with our renters, modifications to our renters ordinance, and then also the bamboo ordinance, which we just passed. And another great thing was no tax increases with the latest budget. So when we started the process several months ago. We thought there would be, but we ended up not. And so that's a commitment to the work that everyone's done on it. So that was great. So we have a couple people who are leaving us. As we mentioned, Councilman Fagan will be leaving us. Ed in Public Works is retiring. So after many years of service, I won't mention how many because that would give away his age, which I might get in trouble for. But want to thank everyone who is leaving us for the work and their dedication in the borough. So as we look forward to 2026, we're going to have some unique challenges. Electric costs are still going to be there as an issue we're going to have to deal with next year. But we have exciting new changes. We have a new councilwoman, Councilwoman-elect Hawk, who will be joining us. So excited for her to get started. We have the crosswalks projects that we started this year. That's a significant public safety event or public safety infrastructure, which people have talked about for many years. And so I think that's going to be a great addition. And we have all the festivities with America's 250th birthday celebrations coming up. So I think that's a lot to be excited about for next year. So like I said, we still have challenges with our electric costs, but I think based on the dedication and hard work of everyone in this room, and all of Jamie's management staff and all of the elected representatives, I think we'll continue to work very hard. So in closing, I just want to thank, first, let me thank Jamie and her staff for all the work that they do. Their tireless dedication and willingness to go above and beyond for our residents, I think really pays off. I think we're spoiled because we see that here, but I'm sure our solicitor can confirm it's not this way in every community. So
Very good.
yeah, so, so we should not take it for granted, by any means. I want to thank all the elected officials for the time and dedication that you guys put in here as well. Some special thanks to Chris and Butch. Butch isn't here today, but normally Chris and Butch are usually here every week, for police and fire. Solicitor Kate, you are typically here all the time too. If it's not you, it's someone else from Timothy Knox. So definitely appreciate your support, and along with Chad, our engineer, along with all of our other vendors and suppliers. So, again, everyone really cares about this community, and whether they get paid to do the work or not, everyone really cares. So it's greatly appreciated. So, but also just want to thank all the residents who have entrusted us with managing this community, and all the trust that they've given us through elections, and all the feedback and comments that you guys give as a community. Just want to thank you guys for that, and know that we don't take it lightly, this responsibility, and we appreciate your faith in us. So in closing, I just want to wish everyone a happy, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. For those who don't celebrate Christmas, Happy Holidays. And just invite everyone to get involved in 2026. I think it's going to be another exciting year. So, all right. Happy Hanukkah. Yep. All of those. Yep. So does anyone else like to say anything before we close? I want to open up the floor. Make sure anyone has anything to say. All right.
Anybody disagree?
Probably no one in the room, right? But all right. So in closing, I would like to invite Councilman Fagan to make a motion to adjourn us. It will be his last as part of this council.
So moved.
All right. All right. All in favor? All right. We are closed for 2026. Thank you, everybody.